truth! You can't handle the truth!
Don't label us left or right. Our American. Not looking for a wall, but we came to fight. Our American. Somebody's gotta stand up. Somebody's gotta do what's right. We're rising 'cause we're fed up. Got our house in order and got yours inside.
Alrighty, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Super Dave Show. It is January 28th. And I got to tell you something. I purposely put that up there. How much are you willing to do to save our republic? I mean that. I really mean that. I get really frustrated sometimes with people because they're just wanting to go through the motions still, and I just am stunned by that. I'm stunned. Every day we watch the left work together, do so much to further their cause, and what do we get? Really, what do we get? It's really pretty spooky. So I really hope that people are finally understanding that we just can't sit around and do nothing. But I'm to a point. I really think that's what a lot of people think. Now, not all, because there's a lot of people I know that are helping. But in the questions on Real Republicans, it cracks me up because one of them is are you willing to give your time and or money, or even put your name on the ballot? And no. Probably not. Things like that. Well, don't come. You're a spectator. I'm sorry. I'm done with spectators. I'm done with them. The people that really mean what they say are going to follow through. They're just not going to, they're just not going to go through the motions. I am, there's one thing my frustration level hits higher than at any time, and that is when I see people complaining and doing nothing. That for me is just the worst. It is. It's the worst. Everything going okay there? Let me just double check something here because interesting. I guess everything's okay. I'm really kind of stunned by the behavior of so many, and I feel like the crabby old man, and I don't want to be the crabby old man. I want to be the happy one, the excited one. The one where there's all kinds of people that said, yes, Dave, we can do this. We can do this. And that's what I want. I don't like negativity. I really don't. But I really wonder sometimes if people mean what they say. It just sure sounds good. I mean, and that's what happened. I want everybody watching this show right now to understand that the reason for what happened in Germany during the days of Hitler is when the people just stood by and watched. This is the same thing that happened in Venezuela. Society got to a point, it's like, well, let somebody else do it. Let whatever. That's what happened to all these countries. We have history right in front of us, and we just refuse to learn from it. While so many people are really upset about the fact that they're knocking down all these monuments and the rest of it, I'll look at the other way. If the monuments are there, do you know what they're there for? And secondly, if we're not going to use our history, let's knock all the damn monuments down. If we're just going to ignore it, we're just going to go ahead and say, who cares? No big deal. Then I say, let's just go ahead and knock all the monuments down and be done with it. Because obviously, I don't look at, I honestly, when I look at monuments, I really look at the history of our country, what people have done to further our country, everything. And right now we have a left that's working together so wonderfully. I mean, I'm in awe of what they're doing right now. Now, I don't like what they're doing, but they're getting it done. And conservative Americans are just sitting around with their fingers up their butts. I mean, that's what it feels like. Sorry. And they're going, duh? Wow, that's really something else. Somebody needs to do something. And I lose it. There's Civil War battlefields right there. You know, and that's just it. People have fought. There's people over right now in other countries defending our freedom. And we sit on our happy asses and do nothing? I'm sick of it. I mean, there's so many days, and I don't want to come out like this, but there's so many days that I just shake my head and go, these people are full of crap. They come out with this stuff saying, I want to do this, I want to do that. But they don't. And I'm losing my patience beyond belief, because I really, and a lot of people right now, just by me saying this, they're going, oh, shut up. No, not shut up. I care about my country. When I look at these statues, when I look at these monuments, whatever, I think of the history. I think of what people have done to secure our freedom. You know, when in World War II, when we went over there, it did so much, and people gave their lives up to save our freedom. We have people here that just discount it. Look, people, freedom is not free. You know, it's really interesting. I play Lee Greenwood and some of these other things in Debris. And I told you, I have tears in my eyes every time I watch one of those. Because my devotion to my country is that strong. And if you're going through the motion, no big deal. Please get the hell away from me. I mean, I am just livid when I see the inaction by so many. Oh, but I love when somebody goes, oh, I do stuff. And they do stuff, but they do nothing. What do? They get on Facebook, go back and forth, and exchange cutesies. Wow. What if our soldiers did that? What if they did that? You know, let's say, for instance, the Chinese come here, and the soldiers go, hey, I'm busy playing on Facebook. I'm busy doing this. I'm busy doing that. I don't have time to fight. We have internal enemies beyond any time of our life. We have the Chinese, actually, in our country, and they are taking over. You're right, Carl. The left is getting a dump. They are burning and killing and rioting and stealing. If you want to stop that, you know, and what do we get? We get people to say, well, we won't do that. And that's, you know, for me, that's I'm not into destroying property and the rest of it. But I'll be honest with you, I'm into destroying our enemy. In the state of Missouri, I read this earlier. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Well, I could. In the state of Missouri, let me find it real quick here, because I'm just like, are you serious? Oh, I hate this. Let me see if I can find it real quick. In the state of Missouri, they're passing a law, which is good, that if you're driving down the road and a bunch of demonstrators are in front of you, and we've seen it over and over when the demonstrators are there. And the demonstrators, what are they doing? The demonstrators are where is that? Well, I had it here. The demonstrators are going to your car. They're attacking your car. They're threatening your lives. And before, it was like, you're supposed to sit there and be a sitting duck. Yes. You're just supposed to sit there and just take it. If they beat your car, if they crash your windows, whatever, you can't do anything. And at least the legislature is finally doing something about it, which they should have done last time. And they say if you do that, then you have a right to run them over. Now, everybody's like, oh, I'd run them over anyway. Many people are the biggest talkers. I live this every damn day. We have so many people who are big talkers and do nothing. Do nothing. But like I said, they talk big. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they try to pull your white ass out and beat you. That's it. And you're supposed to sit there like a good doobie and go, hey, you know what? I feel bad about the last 200 years, whatever. And so because I'm white, and this is really what it amounts to, and this is done by white and black people in the name of supposedly white black people. You know, if these people cared about black people, they'd really care about the fact that they're destroying their own. You go in these black neighborhoods, and they have so many murders. It's not even funny. The intimidation of being a black person in these neighborhoods is over the top. It's amazing. And then the other one is that if they're in your business, that you're allowed, that if they're looting your business and you feel your life is threatened, it should be anyway. I don't care. If somebody's looting your business, I think you should be able to shoot their asses anyway. You have no right into my building. You're right. They're impeding the flow. I mean, all these things are there, and we're just, and what do conservatives do? Yeah, you keep doing that stuff. We have to, this is just it. We are a republic, but we have allowed our republic to go to hell because we aren't doing our jobs. Here's what gets me by conservatives. By the way, this is the Conservative Beatdown Network because my point is that I get to see what people are doing. Keith, you're right. I'll get to that in a second. I get to see what people are doing. And I am extremely aware of those who play on Facebook. They're the Facebook kings and queens. Do they show up anywhere? No. Do they send any money to help the real Republican cause or any other cause? No. In fact, they will outright lie and say, oh, I do stuff. I'm calling your butts out because you are not doing stuff. And you're right, Keith. When I was a cop in the city, there were some really good black people who had bought their property before the thugs moved in. Those were the good ones. And then the thugs moved in. And then what happened? The Democrats set up in the 60s that having fatherless homes was a good thing. Oh, yes. It was the Democrat strategy of slavery that said, we'll do it this way. We'll go ahead and we'll do it this way where unwed mothers can rule the world. They can pump out their kids. Look, this is black and white, so I'm not playing any game here. But it seems to be worse in the black areas. Let me tell you right now, this is a culture difference between, now a lot of it has to do with what's going on politically. This is the culture difference between black and white. If we have some white thugs in our area, I'll be honest with you. I want them in jail or somebody beat the hell out of them. I really do. You can call me what you want, but I don't want any thugs in my area. Yes, the Republicans are not even answering the question, will you support our cause? Get the hell out of it. This is not a game. I don't have the patience for so many people who think that they can walk into it and think that they can play games on this one than they can every other one. I know, Keith, I know it drives you nuts like me. I hear Camden County in Missouri is the first Second Amendment sanctuary county in Missouri. When I was reading, I was looking for the article. I'll see if I can find it here. When I was looking for the Facebook post, and the reason I'm doing that is because of the idiots That's a ridiculous law. There's no reason. That's unconstitutional. So what these idiots are saying, and when you sit on your happy asses and do nothing, you are allowing these idiots to run the show. That is my point. Sitting back, doing nothing is not an option. You know, if you are so upset by the fact that I push for people to get involved, if that bothers you so much, then shame on you. Then you are nothing more than a complainer. And I really at this point, as you know, I really at this point do not have any patience for you, and I really don't care what you think. If you are so arrogant to think that you can just demand everybody else do something while you sit on your happy ass, it's not going to happen under my watch. You know, somebody said, you think you can get them going. You know what? Either I'm going to get people going, or we're going to kick your asses out. We don't owe you anything. It's our group. It's our group of patriotic Americans who want to do something. And to be honest with you, just to belong means nothing to me. You know, it just bothers me because this is what happens in these groups. And believe me, I keep an eye. I look at other people's Facebook posts and all that stuff. But I see so many that they want to be the Facebook kings or whatever. They want to pass things back and forth. And I'm bringing this up again. But that's all they want to do. You're out. When we kick your ass out, don't get mad at me. Well, people that really care are going to do something. People who are going through the motions aren't going to do a damn thing. And that's my problem. If you're just going through the motions, then forget it. Because I really don't help. I'm telling you what, I researched this $15 wage. If that passes, it's going to cost jobs, but it's a feel good. People want government to rule. You're right. We're down to 5%, and that stuff's going to change. I'm going to go in there, Keith, and when we see people who aren't even involved, who aren't doing it. In fact, I'm going to post something in Real Republicans and say, if I see that you are not even trying to get involved, we're going to knock your butt out of here because you're only here just for the fact that it makes you feel good. I'm sorry, you want feel good? Go be an emotional. A lot of conservatives are. Be an emotional liberal. We had 3 people, 3 out of 700 or whatever it is that we have so far, get involved in the election. They put their name on the bottom line. And we didn't even have enough as a kudos to anybody for them doing it. Now, granted, they don't look at Real Republicans all the time and someone said, well, we couldn't post it there. Big deal. Every one of those people need a big high five. Thank you so much for standing up. And we're going to support you. And if you're not going to support these people, you need to be gone. Look, I am a slave driver. I am a hard ass, and I am proud of it. And I couldn't care less what anybody thinks. I really don't care. So everybody better just start understanding that it's not time to be hard ass with some of these people. And when you start crying to me, well, that's not fair, then go on the liberal side because that's where you belong. We want people, like he said, under 5% involvement. Why did you do this? Why did you say, I want to be a Real Republican so you can be a member of another group? It just destroys me. We've got a legislature doing things. We got so many things we should be happy about and so many things we should be unhappy about. I'm looking for a particular thing here. Here you go. I like this. Promote trade schools with as much passion as promoting college. I got to tell you, I am sick to death of people thinking that the only way you could be successful is by having a piece of crap college degree, and that's it. And I mean other things. You need other things. You need passion. You need to say, I love what I'm doing, whatever. Do you know how many people go to college because mommy and daddy say you need to go to college to be successful? They spend all kinds of money on your college, and then, that's their own fault to some extent. They haven't put it out there and said, hey, you need to do something here. You need to have a passion for what you're doing. But, but then we look down on these people. When I see I'll tell you what, when I see the roads being built, when I see the houses being built, and those particular occupations are not looked down on, but they're just not, they don't get the respect that they deserve. And liberals do that all the time. Oh, you're just a carpenter. Oh, you're just a plumber. It's funny how you're just a something until you have that suit and tie on, and then you need their help. It's really interesting. We all look at these people and differently, and the very people. I'm stunned by the attitude of so many that look down on these people. To me, if you're working, this goes as far as working at McDonald's or whatever. I respect anybody that works hard. What the hell ever happened to that? What happened to the fact that we're supposed to respect people who work hard? I really don't know. I respect everybody that works hard. But we get people that look down on them and say, well, but you're only this and you're only that. I'm just amazed. Keith, I think you're going to agree with me. It's time to start bumping people out until they say, why did you do that? Really? Some people, I don't understand. I really don't understand. When I see the very people, when I see the very people, honestly, when I see the very people who I got my emails in to say 14. I'm not sure what the hell you're talking about. Oh, goodness. That's interesting. Campaign to build crossing bridge for wildlife to get across the highway safe. I can understand that. It'd be interesting that what they did. They showed a bridge going over, and it's got grass and all that stuff. What'd really be cool is be driving down the road and looking up and seeing the deer and looking over and say, wow, look at those cars, But I understand. How about this one? Did you see the guy? See the guy who is now, what was he? What is that clown? I just see the picture. I remember the picture. It's a guy dressed up as a woman. And to me, I'm sorry, but anybody that does that has issues, really mental issues, and they're going to be in charge of something. I forgot what it is. After watching what Biden has done, it's just incredible. How would you like to be someone that's on insulin right now? For you lefties that watch this show, how do you feel about the guy that you voted for? Well, you didn't vote for him. You voted against Trump. How do you feel about the guy you voted for that has just said, well, even though Trump had the insulin levels down and epinephrine, I think it was the other one, and he said, you can't do this. Now, granted, a lot of libertarians are okay with it. I'm not. Because we know the pharmaceutical companies get so much from the government to begin with. But how do you like that? How do you like that? That your insulin and epinephrine prices have skyrocketed. That's your guy. How do you like it? Is it 100,000 jobs yet? I think it is. How do you like it that I think President Trump had one executive order in first day? couple other presidents, 2 and 3, I guess it was. Joe Biden, 19. Hey, Joe, we got you where you want to be. We cheated for you to get in there. So because of that, I better watch. I'm inciting violence here. We cheated. You know, and this is where Facebook better understand. I incite violence against my own party because I'm sick to death of what they've done, and I'm sick to death of lazy people. There's a part of the American Rescue Plan that will eliminate Section 14C. This will phase out shelter workshops, meaning handicapped workers will be without a job. The people that work with them that oversee them will be without jobs. And people would see that's just it. They don't know that. You know, see, this is why it's so dangerous. Because you have a guy there now who's working hand in hand with the Chinese government to take us over. Make no mistake about it. Now, if you can sit idly by and that's okay with you, I don't know how you do it. I really don't. You know, I'm glad you brought up about state reps. If we, by state, county by county, state by state, if we elect really, really true Republicans, I'm not talking about the phony asses that turn their back on us. If we elect them, then we are in control of our own state. Some of those other states, I guarantee you, this is what happened. And by the way, this is why you don't want, you may think your state rep is okay, but let me tell you why they're not many times. Number one, because of the fact that they're representing lobbyists and not us. The first duty of a state rep is to represent each and every one of us, not to represent lobbyists. They can talk to lobbyists. I don't have a problem with lobbyists being there. And I've already explained to you people that stop blaming the ones that aren't voting. Blame the people who vote. Because when we sit there and blame the lobbyist, you're giving that state rep an excuse for what he's doing. I'm sorry, that's just wrong. Blame the people who are doing it. I find it unbelievable sometimes that people say, well, those damn lobbyists. No, those damn lobbyists don't vote. And frankly, and I go back to where the real cause is, the real cause of these useless, hypocritical Republicans that we have in office is due to the voters. And now we have a chance to do something about it. And I'll tell you what's really frustrating for me. One reason why I'm more frustrated every day is that people talk big, and they've been doing this forever. They talk big, but when it's time to do something, they run so fast it's not even funny. And we all have defining moments. And I think I've mentioned this. I'm going to mention it one more time because we do have some new people. I remember when my son was in 5th and 6th grade basketball, and I was sitting on the bench, 5th and 6th grade, all right? My son was a 5th grader. And here he is. It's we're beating the hell out of this other team. This is grade school basketball. And I'm sitting there going, let me see. We've already gone through 3 quarters. We're down to 5 minutes, and nobody else has been in the game except for the starting 5. This is not high school. This is not college. This is grade school. And so finally, and I'm sitting there with these people, and they're not happy either. And I said, this is crazy. I mean, I'm a coach. If we're beating them, put the other kids in. Let them learn how to do this, whatever. So with 45 seconds and everybody behind me with me on this, all mad, 45 seconds left, they finally put in the 5th graders. And 45 seconds, that was it. So we sat there, and what do those kids learn? Now, I'm all about putting the best ones out there. I believe that. But it was just over the top. But here's the key. All these people were behind me, bitching and moaning just like I was. This is insane. Dave, I'm with you. So I get up, and after it's over, I go over and I talk to the coach, who I happen to know, by the way, really well. Played ball against him myself. I said, Chuck, what the hell are you doing? We're here. These kids want to play. And I look around, and every damn parent who was so tough behind me ran the other way. They ran the other way. I mean, I look around and everybody's gone. And here's Dave speaking up alone, and I was right. So, you think, oh, well, maybe you weren't right. Well, let me tell you where I was right. After I scolded the coach, it's like, this is crazy. Why are we here? Why are the kids here? Why do you, anyway, the gentleman in charge of the tournament walked over and said, sir, looked at me and said, sir, I agree with you. That is not what this is about. And this team will not be invited to this tournament again. And I was right. I was right. But my point to this is, I look around just like I do now, and I hardly see anybody else behind me. I see Keith and I see a few people, but I don't see enough. I see so many people complaining about what's going on, but when it's time to put up or shut up, they run. Cowards. We call so many other people cowards. The cowards are with, if we can't fix our own house, which really is our problem, look, we can, here's the key to the left-right strategy that almost every single person watching this show falls for. And they're doing it right now. In fact, I get these letters every day from the Republican Party. Look at the Biden agenda. We shouldn't be doing this. And the dumbass Republicans would turn around and say, well, we don't want that. I know we don't like what happened, all this stuff, but we have to fight this, and that's it. And they continue to fund the same idiots that stabbed them in the back. I can't fix stupid. I really can't. And that's stupid. Why would you fund the very people that stabbed you in the back? Why? But they come out with it, and people do it. And then we have an alternative here and say, no, this is about getting new people into that don't stab us in the back. New people that we can have running that can be in office that are going to agree with us. Isn't it about putting people in there we agree with us? I mean, we can't even get people to show up. This is why it's frustrating for me. We can't even get people to show up for the April election. What was it last time? 11%. And the left just loves you for that. Loves you. So when we run candidates, I expect every damn person to hike their asses to the polling places and stop their complaints. Oh, well, this is only one thing or two things or whatever on the ballot. Like none of them matter. Those people out there working their tails off trying to get elected, and you don't even have the decency to show up and vote? Or at least know who's on the ballot? I mean, come on. This is where we are. Good morning, Mr. Charlie. And Charlie knows exactly what I'm talking about. Charlie Grodicke there is a friend of mine. He's also a councilman in Jefferson County. And we've talked about this. It seems like so many people will call and they want him to do everything, but they won't go out. They won't help him in so many ways. They won't show up at the meetings. Nothing. But they want, this is what conservatives do. Well, we voted for him and we're done. Just let us know next election who we need to vote for. So when Charlie is up there and he's trying to defend something that's really important, the opposition, the left, happens all the time. They show up. They show up in big numbers. But guess what? Conservatives don't. I've been there many times. And I look around, there's nobody there. Nobody there, or a few people there. And you'd be surprised how many people it makes a difference. And look, now I'm going to tell you right now, don't look at it and say, he's beating, I'm beating you up for what you haven't done. But today's a new day. Today is a new day. Today's a day that you say, you know what, it's time I finally get up my butt and start getting involved. Because when you get involved, there's a sense of satisfaction. When you get somebody, if you aren't the one running, that you get someone like Charlie to win. or you get someone like Keith DeWin, or the people that we have, Rick or Wendy. These are the people out there doing something that you aren't doing. So if you're not doing it, the least you could do is say, I'm going to support you. But if you're just going to sit back and do nothing, then you're a complainer. You don't have to like what I say. Anybody that knows me will tell you right now, I say what I say because it's honest and it's from my heart. And if you don't like it, I really don't care. I mean, I don't know how, but I just don't care because I don't like excuses. I don't make excuses for myself, and I see no reason for anybody else to be running around spend their life making excuses. We have a as people know, and Charlie, I hope you can make it this Saturday at 1:30 at the VFW in Arnold at 2301 Church. Is it I know people that are traveling hour away. I know someone is traveling 2.5 hours away. We get people in this area and they don't even bother. I'm busy. I'm cleaning out my mother's basement, my daughter's basement. I'm busy. There's a show on that I want to watch. I mean, I cannot believe for the life of me the excuses by the very people who call themselves caring, loving conservatives. It's very unusual to do it. But that's why I always get a kick out of when people say, all you do is attack the left. Anybody that knows me knows that I go after my own party. There's no doubt I go at, anybody, I mean, does anybody here actually think I go after the left? Hell yes, I go after the left. But you know what? I go after the right who sits there and watches the left do what they want. The left is very successful. They are they are very successful, and we allow that success. If we allow that success, then we get what we deserve. Biden administration, this is by Congressman Jason Smith. Biden administration considering allocating COVID-19 funds to climate change programs. There you go. Now, where's our media? In fact, I thought about this earlier. People said, well, what am I going to do about the media? If the people on this side of the aisle would work together and help fund what we're trying to accomplish, we can have our own media. Media that we wouldn't have to worry about. Yes. But we'd rather complain about the current media. Oh, I don't watch that. I don't watch this. I'm telling you, it's just conservatives. The party of welfare. That's what I call it. We don't believe in welfare. Yes, you do. You believe in political welfare. Did you know that Hank Aaron died after he got his COVID-19 shot? Yeah, he died. Many people have died. Do you see that in the news? Hell no. You don't see that. We just don't do that. We just don't do that. I would look for something in particular here. Let me go here. Oh, just had to redo a couple things in my computer. So, give me a second here. I'll find it. By the way, the numbers do work. 636-344. Make sure it is working. 636-344-0003. You're welcome to call in. By the way, if you are also, and this is something else, people get mad because I eliminate their posts on Real Republicans. There was somebody just put something in there about voter fraud. Now, first off, I want somebody to explain to me why it's important to go back and forth with that when we already know it. See, this is what drives me crazy. And then they get mad at me. Well, first off, if we post it, if we allow that to be posted, they will shut us down again. Well, that's not fair. What are you going to do about it? I'm going to complain. It's not fair, you're right. But it's our own fault. And frankly, I'm sick of it. It's our own fault. Because we can have our own news source. We can do all those things. We do have Newsmax, and we do have OAN. We have that. But we need more. You know, we need another platform. We have MeWe. I mean, know some of my friends are on MeWe. They're on these platforms, which is great. But that's the point. We continue to do other things. Biden walks away when asked about the sacrifices he's asking American workers to make as he kills thousands of jobs. Can you imagine if this, I mean, I always turn it around. Can you imagine if this was Donald Trump that said, well, we're going to go ahead and get rid of the previous executive order, and we want the price of insulin to rise. We want the price of epinephrine to rise. We don't care about those 100,000 jobs. They would be on him morning, noon, and night. And what do? He walks away and they go, that's okay. But see, that's what I was saying. The media is not they are not journalists. The media is about the agenda. That's all they are. Anybody thinks it's anything different doesn't know what the hell they're doing. That's what the media is. So when you look at them, you have to understand, when I look at the local media, especially on Facebook, they are as biased as anything I've ever seen. It's really more than disturbing. But it's actually communist-like. I feel like we have like the Pravda here, which is the Russian single source media. That's what we have. Because if you say anything against it, if you say anything about something you believe in, they'll shut you down. How did we get here? I told you how we got here. But you just don't want to believe it. You want to blame someone else. If we can't blame ourselves, you know, look, I know people that Charlie, I got a question to ask you. Don't you wish and this is one of the questions. By the way, on Saturday at 1:30, we're going to have our Real Republicans meeting. I think it's going to be pretty good size. And we're going to have my friend Justin Hill there. Justin Hill is one of the people out there that's actually standing up. He's taking a lot of abuse by the leftist media. What are you going to do about Justin Hill? Justin Hill's going to tell you about being attacked. They canceled his insurance. This is America. You can't have a different viewpoint, and you've got this force by the left. I mean, this is absolutely dangerous. If you know, and this is my whole point. You see a danger here, and you ignore it. I'll tell you what. There's someone that I know that explained this. I'm not going to say who. And explained to somebody that the reason they voted for Biden was because his union boss said, you're going to make $15 an hour more. Now, the first thing you're going to say, and I would agree with you, that is so selfish. It is. It's selfish. You don't care about your kids. You don't care about what happens around you. You're willing to give up so much just so you yourself can get $15 an hour more. And there's no guarantee you're going to get that. Now I want to turn it around on real Republicans. You're so selfish. You see the danger. You see what's going on. And you sit by and do nothing. That's the same as voting for Biden. People that do nothing are only helping the opposition. That's something people can't even get in their head. They are helping the opposition. When you're helping the opposition, you're my enemy. Really, you're my enemy. You may say all the right things, but when you are doing nothing, you are helping the enemy. On our, I read this. I read it all the time on purpose. And it was Einstein that said, "The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything." I really don't understand for the life of me. I really don't understand for the life of me how people can watch our country be destroyed. They elect people. Charlie, you know this in our own county. They elect people who say they're Republicans and they're not. And do you know why? People may say, "Well, that's not fair. Somebody needs to vet them." Somebody needs to vet them? Let me say that again. That's not fair. We didn't know they really weren't Republicans. Someone needs to vet them. That someone is the voter. The purpose of you going to the polls is you have said, all right, I've looked at the choices, and this is the one I want. This person says they're Republican, but I looked it up and they're really not. But we have people that go to the polls all the time and they go, well, I guess they're Republicans because it's got an R next to their name. Unbelievable. On Real Republicans. By the way, we have a new logo. Thank you very much, Lynn Leaderbrand, for doing it. It's really cool. I like it. Did you see that? People on the website website or Facebook when I put that out. Yes, we have. I mean, it's really cool. I love it. We are Real Republicans. I want to read on our Facebook. The current Republican Party has been for sale for a long time. They have sold us out to the Chinese just like the Democrats. Think about that. Now they're playing this game. I'm adding to it. Now they're playing this game, left versus right, and they want you to fall for it again. Some people are. They get these letters, and I'm going to go to my email, and I'll show you a couple. The hypocrites in the Republican Party, and I need to fix that. They are siding with Joe Biden, so that should tell you enough. Establishment Republicans have been in control of the Republican Party for a long time. Many are not Trump fans and could care less about this country. Real Republicans do. It's time to disband the current Republican Party and revive what the Republican Party should be. They started the Republican Party back in the Lincoln days because of the fact that the Whigs weren't doing a crap, just like today. In fact, right now, the established Republicans are working with the Whigs. I mean, they're working with the Democrats all the time. As you can see, there are many Republicans who are never Trumpers. And that is because they are extremely jealous of President Trump. He gets things done. So join in and let's take the Republican Party. Let the phonies keep their phony Republican Party. Trump has been the best Republican we've ever had in decades. I don't know of a better one in my lifetime. And I'm a huge Reagan fan. Everybody better understand what we're talking about here. This is so important. I can't say enough. It's frustrating for me. It really is. Biden put and this is what happened. This is when you sit back and watch. You know, right now we're sitting back and watching and see, we're not even preparing. That was my goal of Republicans. We are preparing. But people, what people do? This is what bothers me. People send me all kinds of stuff on Messenger, all stuff I need to look at. Everything I need to know. So I get upset even more that Democrats are doing this. You are playing the game. You are playing the game that the establishment wants you to play. Left versus right. You are the suckers of a lifetime. You're playing that game. And when I get these things, I swear to you, I look at them and I go, and what the hell are you doing about it? If you're not mad by now, then you're not really mad. Somebody's got to do something. Here's my religious friends. God will take care of it. Ask the people in Germany back in the 30s and 40s. God will take care of it. Didn't work. Ask the people in Venezuela. There were a lot of God-fearing people there. It didn't work. Let's keep going. Let's keep asking these people. That's the problem. Because frankly, I just see the same thing over and over. And like I said, until we truly get mad, we're not doing a damn thing. We just aren't. So I don't know. Sorry about this. I gotta do a couple things here real quick. Yeah, whatever happened to free speech, by the way? Remember when we used to have free speech? Seriously, remember when we did? Free speech was something that we all enjoyed, and we could say it even though the other side disagreed. Now it's different. Now it's different. And it's really sad. But, are you mad about it? Back to what I always say, are you really and truly mad about it? I have to know. How upset are you about this? I knew this. There's a part of American Rescue eliminates Section 14C. This will phase out shelter workshops, meaning handicap. Oh, we already said that. Okay. Not many people responding on here. Carl is. You're right. The Republican Party was started by 54 New York Negro businessmen. And the real troopers jumped on board with them and said, you are people too. Guess who was against that? Democrats. Do you know what, Carl? Do you know how many people in today's world, I'd say under 40 years old, have no idea about that fact? Do you know that some people actually believe that the Republican Party is the party of slavery? If you ask some of these young people, they have no idea. In fact, they're being taught that. They're being rewritten history. That's what they're doing. That's one of the things going on right now. They're rewriting history. Do you ever wonder, what is it about these? And you're right. You're right. What is it about these liberals? They win because they work together. And you're right, Keith. We need to concentrate on a few tasks and do it exceedingly well. We're not going to be able to do it all right away. The very first thing we need to do is get people to run, which is like pulling teeth, and get people to fund the organization and stop being a bunch of what's. I talked to a gentleman yesterday. He didn't have a lot of money. He said, Dave, but if we don't do this, we're going to lose our country for sure. Why is it that we have so many people that don't have a lot of money that love our country that are saying, yes, we're going to fund this? I'm dead serious. Why is that? There's a lot of people who want to do more, and they can't, but they do something. I have more respect for them than most, because the one gentleman I know, he was out there working for Dr. Neely. He was out there putting signs up, sweating his butt off. I mean, nice guy, had a rough beginning, had some rough times in his life, but you know what? He reclaimed himself and said, I'm going to do what it takes to help my country. Do you know how many people are out there just like that, who want to do things? They're pleased we have our country. I'm looking at some of these headlines. We have these Trump supporters who are being knocked off of Facebook. We have these Trump supporters where their First Amendment rights don't matter. And on the left, they pretty much get away with everything. And every instance of all this stuff, I mean, I look at it, and I want everybody to do this as a homework assignment. Every instance where this happens, the thing you need to put in your brain, and this is I'll tell you what, this is a teaching of what we need to do. You need to put in your brain, what can I do about it? Instead of saying, I need to tell somebody else. You know, if you don't know what the hell's going on by now, then you live in another world. You just do. I mean, on the No Mask website that I'm part of, No Mask Jeffco, we've had a mask order, which means nothing, for 3 months. And one person goes on there and he says, what mask order? What planet do you live on? When you aren't even paying attention, what the hell's going on, really? You can make direct comparisons between Democrats and the National Socialists of Germany than comparison to Republicans. Republicans are, but here's the problem. Republicans actually have the best message. But we're not unified to get it out. Well, we thought we had, and this is where, get over it. Get over it. Well, that National Party's doing this. I don't like Republicans. You don't like established Republicans. Why are we so inclusive so many times? You don't like something. I understand that. But why are we so inclusive of that? We don't like this. We don't like that. And we group everybody together. You know what? Charlie, my friend Charlie there. He probably passed through, but he's a union guy. He's a Republican all the way. But he's also a union member. And there's some of you people out there that are going to knock him because he's in a union. But he's out there. Instead of knocking him, why aren't we doing our best to get those people on our side? Trump did his best. And instead, the idiot Republicans on the right, and this is true now, let me tell you, this is what stupid people do. They automatically include everybody together. Well, all those union people are stupid. Really? My son is stupid. He's a union guy. There's a lot of union guys. So instead of being inclusive there, realize that we can change a lot of these people's minds. Because you know how easy it would be if we worked together on this to go to these union people and say, hey, invite them over. I have no problem saying, by the way, it was President Trump who said, let's bring back the steel industry. It was President Trump that said, let's bring blue-collar jobs back. It was President Trump that did this. Yes, Charlie's a level-headed conservative union guy. You got it. But, Keith, you know what? I'm telling you, the people is like, he's a union guy. He isn't worth, they don't even know. See, the laziness of the right is over the top. Instead of spending your time trashing the left, look in the mirror and start figuring out that if we improve our own, then we're much stronger. You don't get stronger by trashing the opposition. You get stronger by having your people work together. And I will say this again, and I know it drives people crazy. The people on the left are cleaning our clocks. They have they've already got an election that they've stolen. Well, somebody needs to do something. Guess what, folks? Now's your time to do something. We can do something. But doing nothing is not an option. We are being attacked. We are being attacked internally in our country, and you're running for cover. You're doing nothing. And it just is, and a lot of people, look, I'll tell you what, go to your superstar radio guys or whatever and hear the message where I'm the hero. No, that I'm sorry. That's lazy. That's really lazy. It makes you feel good. Well, at least he's not attacking me. Well, you know what? How well is that working? Like my friend, former state representative Paul Kurtman said, we'd have rallies, and when the rally was over, people would go home, and they're done. You can't be done. You can't be done. You see what the left is doing, and that's the problem. So when you go out of your way, to just ignore everything, because that's really what a lot of people are doing. When you go out of your way to do that, you lose. That's bottom line. You lose. And frankly, my friends, I don't like losing. I despise losing. I really do. So I'm gonna set up and take a break here. I'm doing Lee Greenwood today because I want people. I really, I know I play this a lot, but it's one of my favorites. But I want people to understand that we are. I like the one with the soldiers, because the soldiers are out there fighting for us. The soldiers are out there fighting for us, and we're watching them. We're wanting them to work for us and do things, and that's true. But when we just let that be the only thing going on, shame on us. I'm dead serious. Shame on us. We should be there, and we should be there to help in our own way. We can defend our own country. That's what we have to do. So, all right, I want to set this up, and let's stand at attention. Enjoy this, because frankly, I love every second of this.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife.
I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up
Alrighty, if that doesn't do it for you, I don't know what does. Really, that doesn't get you. I don't know what
Nuclear
does.
bomb
I
for
don't.
weight
I don't know
loss
how
is
anybody's an
adding certain
American
foods that have
when
an
that does it.
insanely
And
high
those
thermic
kinds of
effect
things
that
are the
just
ones that
obliterate
should
that. And that's why
truly get people off their butts and thinking. It really is. I really don't know how anybody can do anything differently. I just don't. By the way, you can find us on MeWe. You can find us on Gab. And if you are not near any of that or a member of it, you can go to superdaveshow.com and press my picture there on the screen, and it'll come up and bring you to DLive, which you can at least you can make comments. So someday we're gonna get shut down. We know it. We know it for sure. But we're not gonna let that get us. Let me see. Is somebody calling me here? Oh, I thought they were. Okay. I saw that flashing there, but I guess I didn't. By the way, you can call in if you have any questions. But I suggest people go to our website and realrepublicans.net. Remember that. .net. Think of we're going to catch you. .net. Because somebody already stole the names .com. They're not using them. And I have a good idea who it is. Because they're not real Republicans. Let me tell you something right now. The hypocritical Republican Party that most of us despise right now don't want us involved. Why? I'm the opposite of what everyone else is, I guess. When somebody tells me not to do it or to do it, I look at it really closely and I think, let me think. Why is that group of people telling me I don't need to do this? I want to know. I really want to know. Because there are just so many people out there that always are telling me what to do. And, and I'll go back to what I said before. When I was younger, they were passing the pot around, and I said, no, thank you. Come on, man, be cool. If that makes me cool, I don't want to be cool. I mean, it means so much. I'm logging into our account here to see how many more people have jumped on and said, hey, I want to be part of this. Don't do that, Dave. You'll get upset. Probably. But you know what? One way or another, we're going to change what we're doing. We're eventually going to get to... Keith, one way or another, we are going to get them there. I don't know what's going to take sometimes. I have no idea. And the other people, too. I'm not just saying Keith. But the other people that say they care, we're going to see them do it. By the way, when you do your forms, when you go on the website and you put your contact information down, please put your last name down. It would be nice. I don't know why that's a problem sometimes. I really don't know. And when you if you have any ideas or something like that, you'd like to be involved one way or another, please put it down. That's why it's there. There's notes there, and you can put that down and just tell people what you're wanting to do. Oh. Itchy noses. That's why I don't like web, in a way. But look. This isn't easy with what I do. And by the way, if you want to see me in action in person, then you need to show up on Saturday at 1:30. And I am, for those of you that are on the ballot in April, I'm going to at least announce who you are and give you high congratulations because you got out there and you're doing something. And every person there needs to be looking at you going, we need to do what we can to help. We do, because that's our goal. But I don't know. I hear the excuses, by the way. I hear the excuses, well, I gave money to the Republican Party and look what they did. You gave money to them and you didn't keep them accountable. Let me tell you right now, the people that we have that we're running, we will keep them accountable. If they're running on a school board and all of a sudden they say, well, yes, this bond issue is a good thing that we need to have again, and we're like, are you nuts? Do you know, we actually, as time goes on, we want to teach, and I do this on my show, we want to teach people really of what politics really are, why things the way they are, why bond issues are continually, whenever they pass the initial bond issue for schools especially, it never ends. Well, you go, wait a minute. The bond issues, they were supposed to pay the bonds off in 5 years, yes. But when those 5 years are up, every single school district with the school board involved, and this has to stop, every single one says, hey, wait a minute. Now's the time that we push this garbage again. So this is how they set it up. Let's make sure we don't put a roof on some of these buildings. Let's not say far, it doesn't matter, because what we'll do is we'll ask the stupid voters, this is what they think about you, we'll ask the stupid voters, believe me, a lot of people think you're stupid. We'll ask the stupid voters to go to the polls, and we'll tell them that, yes, if we don't do this, then the roof is going to fall in because it's ready to fall in. It's something we got to take care of. Now, as a business person, the first thing I think of is, why didn't you have money allocated for that to begin with? And you don't need to, you got the building for, say, 30 years, and say every 20 years you got to redo the roof or something like that. That should be money you put in every year. You have a funding, and you say, wait a minute, we got to save for this. And then when you have it, no, that's not what they do. The people on the school board, the liberals do this. I want to tell you exactly how the liberals feel. They run the school boards, and they look at you, and they go, these people are so stupid. That's what they think of you. They really do. They don't help their people get elected. All they do is sit back and watch. Yes. And you go there, and you go, well, we can't have the roof falling in. I think every person going through high school needs to learn how to run a business. Understand those two important words, asset and debit. They need to learn that. And if they don't learn that, I don't think they should graduate. Everybody should understand that. What do we do now? Let's go out and not save a penny. In fact, the laws are set up so it's harder to save money. But let's go ahead and not save any money. If you want to, you save it according to the stock market and pray that works out. But let's go ahead and spend more than we have. That's a normal thing. Let me see. Our county gets $5 million a year in. Let's spend $6 million. Let's do that. Now, most counties can't do that. The one thing that got me is that, how many people out there would go to go buy a car? And let's say, for instance, you make $500 a week. Would you get a car that costs you $500 a month? That's 1/4 of your income. That doesn't include the taxes. That doesn't include, I'm talking about just payments. It doesn't include the taxes or the insurance or the rest of it. Do you know people that go and they buy a car? This is how absolutely stupid people are. They go buy a car, and they don't even realize that taxes have to be paid on the car to sell. Well, that's wrong. You didn't know that? What are they teaching you in school? Honestly, you get out of high school and you don't know any of this stuff. Why wouldn't you know this stuff? I know some places they do have it, but most they don't. But you know what you do know? When you get out of high school, this is what they teach you. You know that if you don't have more green jobs and you don't stop oil from being producing, that the world is going to go down in 5,000 years. And you don't want to do that. This is how it is. They live for today in some ways, but they live for the future, not in 20 years or 50 years, in 1,000 years, just knowing that what they're being brainwashed with is the right way. We got people out there that actually believe that if they don't get involved with climate change, hey, for everybody listening right now, climate change is real. It's because the climate changes. Do we have anything to do with it? Of course we don't. We don't have anything to do with it. Now they say, this is something about the Paris Accord. This is what's so ridiculous. The people in the United States are the liberals on the left, and you're letting them run everything, so what's the point? But the ones on the left are saying, we have to watch the pollution we have in the United States. We are one of the least polluted countries on the planet, but they want us to pay for everybody else's. China is like a place that you can die very easily. I know people have been in China, and one of the reasons they wear masks is because the pollution is terrible. They don't have any real problem. They don't have any real restrictions there. But they want us to have the restrictions. You know, when you've got liberals that want to be involved in the Paris Peace Accord and the rest of this crap, and you actually think it's helping, you know what you're doing. Now, everybody here is going, well, that's ridiculous. I don't believe that. We shouldn't be doing that. We need to stop that. How are you going to stop it? By standing there, stomping your feet? We have to work together to stop this. We have to get the truth out. And we can do that. We really can. And we have to get the truth out. But the problem is, and I'll go back to legislators. Every state has state legislators. And we are, just like I did yesterday, I played Red Skelton. We are 50 sovereign states. But the problem is that we have people in elective office that wants us to be all one government in the United States, where the guy up top can all of a sudden just write an executive order, and he does something that should be a state problem. I'll never forget when Ron Paul was running for governor, and Ron Paul said, instead of fighting Roe versus Wade, why don't we do it state by state? Why don't we just say each state can do it? And therefore, if you don't want abortion in your state, you push your state legislators and they stop it. And what do we get? We get the people on our side. They're going, that's not good enough. We have to do it on a federal level to stop it. Well, guess what? In the meantime, while you're being so hard-headed, every state can do it. You're allowing those states that are liberals to run your state. Stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. You can get your state going, and then you can work on the other states if that's what you want. But to blindly just make this a federal issue when you could stop the massacre of babies, of babies being killed in our own state, why would you do that? Now, from what I understand, in Missouri, I have to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. I understand that Planned Parenthood is gone out of Missouri, and that if you want an abortion, you got to go to Illinois. Just wear a mask. By the way, did you see where phony Fauci came out with this fact? Now, before he said you don't need a mask, and then all of a sudden the people on the left said, "Hey, we're doing this not because it's health has anything to do with health. We want to see how many dumbasses are on the right. They're going to do this." So that's what they did. I'm telling you as it is. Let's force it. Let's go ahead and push this garbage, even though we know it doesn't work. Let's push this garbage saying that you need to wear a mask. Now they're up to 2 masks. Now, phony Fauci is running around saying 1 mask isn't good enough. Let's do 2. Let's do 2 masks. The masks say they don't work. Nothing works. And I still have to ask this question. Why do you take this long stick, stick it halfway up someone's skull to get whatever you need to find out if you have COVID? Why do you need that? But what, okay, fine. That's how you find out if they got COVID. You got to go jamming up their skull to find out. But you have to wear a mask, and that's going to protect people. How many of you people watching this show right now are so compliant that when you see a sign on the door, by the way, that sign on the door is not law. It's a suggestion. In fact, most of those places aren't even paying attention to it. When we go into Home Depot, Aldi, and these other places, they don't say a word. They don't say a word. Stop being so compliant. If they do say a word, you got two choices. You can comply and put it on if that's what you feel like you need to do, or you can do what I do and I walk out. If they don't want my business, they don't get it. It's really that simple. Why is that so hard? I mean, if we can't even get conservatives to do that, why is that so hard for people to do? I don't want to be confrontational. Let me see. Confrontational means that you're a little bit uncomfortable for a minute. Is that it? I mean, I don't understand that. I just, the weakness of the right is just incredible to me. But I want to see a lot of people be like some of these women out there. My friend Linda, she gets in their face and says, "I'm not wearing a damn mask." She embarrasses her husband. But guess what? She's like me. I don't care. I walk in and I was like, "I'm not wearing a mask." "Well, you have to be here." "Well, I'm not going to. If you want my business, I'll walk out. Not a problem. Did it to my doctor. I did it to other people. I really don't give a damn. But, how many people will do that? That's the problem we have. We have a lot of weak-kneed people on the right. So, anyway, I wonder how many businesses we are losing because of this stupid wall. Not stupid wall, the stupid idea of stopping the building of it. All of a sudden, they're trying to stop everything that Trump has done. All the great things. Here's one. Let's just go by some of the great things that Trump has done that is causing, that the left is undoing. You have, I talked about insulin and the drug prices. They're going up. Let's talk about that. They've gone up immediately. If that was Trump doing that, there would be wall-to-wall coverage about how evil he is and he doesn't care about people. That's what it would be. What about the jobs? Trump brought all these jobs back with the trade deals. And at the stroke of a pen, every day, this clown is killing those jobs. You're gone. We're going to stop the wall. You're done. We're going to stop the Keystone Pipeline. You're done. Let's go to the next step. Gas prices. Have you noticed they've gone up? Why wouldn't they? The Keystone Pipeline, the stopping of drilling on federal lands, all these things. We have it there. Well, you can't get it because we got a bunch of leftist nutcase wackos that want to protect something, and they don't realize they're doing it. You know, when they built the one of the pipelines, I forgot which one it was. They were afraid that it would keep the animals away. It would scare the animals away, and then they found out the animals were hanging out by the pipeline. There were more animals there than ever. But do you ever hear that about that? No, you don't hear about that. You don't hear about that. You want to know why you need to get involved? Maricopa County officials sell out America, refuse audit of 2020 ballots. Why doesn't every state legislature have it where you have to check that you have audits on every election? Why is that not there? Hey, mail-in ballot Dan Shaw, why aren't you introducing legislation to say that every damn county or voting establishment, whatever you want to call it, because some cities have their own. Why aren't you pushing to make sure that there's not people that aren't going to these counties that all they do is go county to county to triple check to make sure that these elections are fair. Why aren't we doing that? Why haven't we done that? Why? What are they afraid of? What are they afraid of? Maricopa County officials on Wednesday decided to approve unanimously a plan to hire 2 preferred firms to audit election equipment used there. GOP senators vow to continue their push, but they're trying their best to stop it. The Maricopa County Board of Supervisors voted unanimously. Let me see, where is it here? The board acted. Okay, we don't need to be defensive. The board has nothing to hide. The state senate has issued several subpoenas to the board and the county recorder seeking access to voting machines, copies of all ballots, and much more so it can perform its own audit. The board has fought off those requests. Wasn't it the left that always said, and by the way, a lot of these people on this are establishment Republicans. That's exactly what they are, establishment Republicans. How do you like that? How do you like that? Establishment Republicans, and what do we get? We get the same thing over and over, because establishment Republicans are lockstep is a great word for that, working in lockstep with the left. Oh. Viral video shows dad yelling at Virginia school board for not reopening schools. I guarantee you, the people on the left will look at down on them. It's like, how dare you put our teachers in jeopardy? That's what they're saying. That's what they're... And we're allowing this to happen? We got people on the left just saying, no, don't open the schools. There is no criteria whatsoever to say that opening schools is going to hurt anyone. I'm reading some of the comments here real quick. Throwing a tantrum, such a class act. You know, we don't care about what he says. Look, can you get pissed off sometimes? You want to see tantrums? How about when you got Antifa and BLM who are blocking Trump supporters and they are beating them up or whatever? Or when police officers are stopping these nutcase lefties and they're spitting at them, throwing bricks at them and all the rest of it. You call that a tantrum? This guy got up there and spoke what he did. And because it's not something you want to hear, somebody gets up, we should be standing with this guy all the way. There are so many people. I wonder if I can get this real quick. I would love to hear what he said. I'm afraid to play it on this, though, because sometimes it's a little spooky. Let me do a couple things here real quick. I'd love to hear what he had to say, because I love people that stand up and talk. I do. I love it. People that stand up and talk are people that I love dearly. People that will actually do something and say something. That it's so important that we get up and say something. No, I better not. I can see it right away. I have to figure out why it's doing this, but I'll fix it eventually. It's really frustrating on my end, friends, because when I watch the people who are really standing up, they're vilified. They are vilified. Why are they vilified? That's what I want to know. Why are those people vilified? They should never be vilified. And that's the problem we have. We have so many people out there to vilify, and all they're doing is standing up. And you're on the left, and you're yesterday I went on Facebook and answered a couple things, and of course, all the liberals know how to do is make fun of someone and say, oh, poor baby. And I don't get on there and I don't emotionally say things. What I do is I say things that are factual. Why is it that the same people who are knocking something are not knocking the riots on the left. Why are they not doing that? I don't know. Someone help me out with that. Why are they not knocking that? Why aren't they going after those people? That's what I want to know. It's a problem for me. It really is. And I sincerely don't understand why it's okay. Why are people just going after that? To me, it just doesn't make good sense. So anyway, I'm kind of lost on some of this stuff. Really am. Are you guys getting me okay now? I'm looking at my CPU and it looks like it's going really strong here, and I don't understand why, but kind of crazy actually. Let me do a couple things here real quick and see. Let's get rid of this, because sometimes some of these things that you bring up by accident take up a lot. So just give me a little time here. We'll get there. Yeah, it's anyway. Are you still there? You people still there? It's awful quiet there. I'm not seeing any of the comments today. It's really odd. It's Hey Keith, I like the way you said, love the kids initiative, vote today, dumbass. You know, I it's interesting because some people have called me on Messenger, and that's fine, and they're learning how much, Larry is, so many of these people are learning so much of what we're trying to accomplish, and I think that they find it in disbelief, and I understand why they think that. I really do understand that because there's so many people in the biz that have been doing politics for a while that really have a problem with it. They don't understand that this is real and that they have to do something. But as I keep going on and on, honestly, I let me ask you guys a question. What would happen if I gave up? Seriously, what would happen? Yesterday I had somebody who was telling me that they are so happy that I really continue doing what I'm doing, but what gets me? The very people that tell me that are not the ones participating in it, and I really shake my head and I go, why aren't you helping? I really don't get it. Why don't you do more shows? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And I'm like, why don't you do something? That's my biggest complaint. Why don't you just go to the news and talk about that? Don't be talking about getting involved. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just become an entertainment center like some of these places are, and that's it. Charlie is a level-headed conservative guy. That's Charlie. By the way, Keith, you don't have anything against unions, do you? I don't. I have, I got problems against? I get problems against government unions. Because you know how the government, a lot of people don't realize this. Do you realize how they end up doing so well? Is what they do is the government unions say, okay, we're going to help this person. I'm echoing and freezing. You know what? I'm looking at this. I don't know why. Let me close a couple things and that'll help. I don't understand why. That may have helped. It's dying for CPU, and whenever I open up a couple things, it's not working. So I'll have to do it a different way. So I apologize for that. Is that better? That should be a little bit better. Yeah, now my CPU went down a lot, but don't know why it's doing that, but it is what it is. So, where was I? Is that better though? Look, I want to be honest with you. I am really hoping. I feel like sometimes I'm getting to the end of my rope. I really do. To where it's like, if we're not going to do anything, then I guess just give in. And then people get mad at me. It's like, why are you giving in? It's like, well, when you feel like you're doing this alone. I remember one of my good friends one time. She said, Dave, I've been doing this for many years. I feel like a mouse on one of the wheels in a cage. And I just keep going and going and going. And when I do it, nobody's helping. And I feel like I'm doing it on my own. And I saw this person go to the council meetings and stand up and, oh, thank you so much for doing this, so much for doing that. And you know who really gets me? In fact, I really hope that my friend Justin Hill talks a little bit about this on Saturday. And like I said, you're invited on Saturday. Would be nice if you could tell us you could be there. I know not everybody does that, but hey, if we get more than we need there, that's fine. People just have to stand up. That's all there is to it. We want a great crowd, that's for sure. But I hope Justin comes out and even mentions it. Even mentions the fact that we have a lot of people out there that really need to get involved. They really need to get involved, because when you don't get involved, then he loses. Let me tell you what happens in the state legislature. Back to politics on how it really works. In the state legislature, all the state reps that you talk to, a lot of them, most of them, let's be fair, most of them are supported by lobbyists. Now, it's you, the voter, that says, I don't like that. But it's you, the voter. What did you break? It's working better now, isn't it? I think I need to. I did clean up my cache today, so I don't know why it's doing it, but I'll figure it out. But back to what I was saying, they say, well, why do the lobbyists have so much influence? And the answer is so easy. It's so easy. The answer is because you aren't there. Because you aren't there to support these people. I guarantee you, I know that for a fact. I've been there. And when you aren't there, that's what happens. When they have to go to these lobbyists, and let me explain, we are the people that they're supposed to represent. I get that. But they need money to get reelected. And so instead of complaining about it, help them get reelected. There's very few candidates that can support their own campaigns. Very few. No volume now? Don't be saying that. Are you not getting volume? That's all right. I'm about ready to end the show anyway. But I'll at least finish this, and hopefully people still hear it. Let me know if you're hearing this. But I hear him. No, she hears me. It's you. It's not always me. But whenever you wonder why these politicians, and this is all our fault. It is. And this is why I lay it. I want everybody to understand that why we have to be so involved. But if Justin Hill gets to a point where he can't win election again because he's got a competition of somebody, and this will happen. This is why it happens, folks. Because the established Republican Party that you don't like is gonna fund a candidate. They're going to do what they can to take out Justin, and he's going to lose because the very people that say they like him aren't going to fund him. And Justin is going to say, well, I have a choice. And I've heard this from many good legislators. I had a choice. I could sell my soul, or I just have to walk away. Because I can't afford it. I can't afford it. This takes money. When we ask people to run for school board, health, and all the rest of them, it takes money. We want those liberals. Let the liberals have it. That's it. It takes money. Let the liberals do it. And honestly, I go by actions, not words. I do. I can't tell you how many people have said, oh, I've given. Guess what? I get to see every person that's actually gone in there and contributed or said, I want to do monthly, whatever. And they're outright lying. Why would you lie about that? Oh, yes, I've done it. No, you haven't. We have outright liars in this side. I mean, what's the point? Why would you lie about that? Weak volume. I don't know what to say about it. Let me look at something here. We got, I don't know. No issues. I don't know what's going on. If nothing else, redo it. Here but soft. Well, that could be yours. Check your mobile device. Yes, it's yours. Because everything should be fine. I'm looking at it right now, and everything looks like it's exactly as it should be. So, I'm going to talk about one more time. This Saturday, if you're listening, and you really want to make a difference, you'll hear a lot. You will hear a lot of the same, but it is different when it's in person. And you will have your chance to go in there and say, yes, I want to be involved. Do you know how many people that's going to scare off? I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Then stay the hell away. Get away from real Republicans because we don't want you there, really. Because you're all talk and no action. I'm about action. And we want people in the group who are about action, not just talk. That's it. And if you're not going to offer something, then what's the point of being there? It's really true. And I know a lot of people are watching this right now in different formats and they're going, wow, what a hard ass. Damn right. Because I want to win. And I feel like General MacArthur, who's talking to the troops and say, if you're not going to give it your all, then go back home. In fact, I wish I could put you in Leavenworth, because that's where you belong if you're not even helping. That's what I feel like, and this is not an easy job to do. You know, it's funny because some of the people others said, Dave, I couldn't do what you do. Well, there's a reason you can't do what I do, because you're afraid you're going to offend somebody. I'm not here to kiss anyone's little butts. I'm here to say, let's do what we have to do, and that's it. If you really and truly care about your country, you will do something. But if you think what you're doing, and honestly, if you are what I'm saying, if you are the people doing what I'm saying, I hope you get mad at me. I really do hope you do. Because the day when they finally take over, thank you. The day when they finally take over is the day when you're finally go, I should have listened. I should have done something. The one thing about conservatives is it's always too late. Always too late. For me, it's really, it breaks my heart. People that I know who say they care and they don't, who are lying to themselves and they don't. You know, I'm going to tell you, the people like the ones, generally the ones that come here all the time, they totally get it. They do. And my friend Linda especially, you know, she's been doing this a lot of years. And honest to God, you know, I remember her telling me, she goes, you know, I've given so much and I see so little from other people. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. You know, for me, the excitement is like when I saw when I got to tell you, when Keith called me and told me how cool it was the first time his name on the ballot. It was the greatest feeling. And I said, the greatest feeling, even after that, is when you win. But it was a great feeling being on the ballot, knowing your name's going to be on the ballot, knowing that you can make a difference. You know, when I was talking, I talked to the people running for school board, some of them, and we're there to help them. And you're there to help them. Look, I'm not here to do this all the time. I'm not here to fund everything. I'm not here to do all the work. You want somebody to do all the work, go join the other side. We don't want you. We don't want welfare people. And I don't mean, I'm not talking financial welfare. I'm talking the political welfare people. Go away. We don't want you. Because we don't need you. And frankly, If you're one that doesn't like welfare to begin with, you better understand exactly what you're doing. At least be honest with yourself. That's all I ask anybody to do. Be honest with yourself and say, you know what? He's right. I'm not doing what I should be doing. I know people get tired of this. I get tired of it. I really do. I guess I'm looking forward to Saturday because I hope that people go there and really understand and say, yes, today's the day I give it all I have. Because if we did that, we can knock this out, folks. We've got 75 million people on our side. If we had half of those people doing much of anything, we could kick the ass of the left in no time. You know, we have more money than the billionaires that try to control us. We have more money. And you know why? You know why they invest? They invest because they want to get things done. They invest in media. They bought the media from us. They bought ABC, CBS, NBC. They're all owned by liberal companies, corporations. They bought it. They own it. They get to put the news out that they want. Because that is an investment to them. See, everybody needs to understand what an investment is. An investment is doing what it takes if you believe believe in the goal. Their goal was to go ahead and own the Washington Post, to own all the New York Times, all these places. That's their goal. And they've achieved their goal. And by the way, there's a lot less of them than there is of us. The things that we can achieve, this is what conservatives don't do. You know, if one day we all decided not to buy from a company and said, let's offer a month or 2 months or forever, say we're not buying from this company, that would devastate those companies. All of a sudden it would change, but people don't do that. Starbucks is against you. Starbucks does everything against you. And you continue to go there and wait in line for coffee because the coffee is more important than your freedom? Do you think about the things that are more important to you than your own freedom? That's what gets me. Rhinos and RNC sucked down our money and energy, claiming they supported President Trump, but they were profoundly lying. That's why it's important to invest in the organizations that aren't lying. Look at all the organizations that are making all this money. I'm talking the conservative ones, the ones that say they're conservative. I have friends that are in charge of organizations that are making six figures. And people are giving their hard-earned money to these people and sucking down six-figure salaries. Maybe I should do that. But I don't want that. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here because I'm fighting for our freedom. You know, and that's what gets me. Maybe people would feel better if I said, yeah, I make $150,000 a year like these other people do. And you need to send money in so I can suck down the salary. You know what? Let me tell you something about those organizations. If you don't like Osteen or some of these other religious people out there getting rich and rich and rich, then you better not like some of the other organizations. They're not getting as rich, but still. A lot of these people have made a good living anyway, but no, they say, I'm going to go ahead and head this organization, and I'm going to take down six figures. And we'll keep this going. And by the way, like Rush said, they generally don't get anything done, but they still make a nice big salary. And then dumb Republicans, they just keep sending them money. They keep looking at their letters. You know, I'm going to bring in my mail real quick. Bring in my mail. And the reason is because I want to read some of this garbage they send us, this left-right garbage they send to me every day. By the way, for some reason, I'm on the other side too. I'm on the other side too. Let me Let me bring on my mail, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about here. Yeah, I'm asked on both sides to send money. How I get on the right, on the left side, I have no idea, but they do that all the time. By the way, the Epoch Times is a good one. Here's one for you. How about this one? This is Nikki Haley. Stabbed us in the back, stabbed Trump in the back, and she wants some of your money. I've run many campaigns in my career, 3 for legislature and 2 for governor. They've all had one thing in common, starting early and sprinting all the way until Election Day. Thousands of conservatives have joined our movement. My question to her up front is, what the hell happened? Now, here's what I want to reach out personally to ask for your support of Stand for America PAC. Boy, that sounds good, doesn't it? Stand for America. Now, people stupidly look at that and they don't even realize who's doing it. They go, yeah, let's support the witch. She didn't support your president. I need your help. You ready for this? This is your left-right garbage. I need your help to recruit, train, and elect enough conservatives to win strong House and Senate majorities and counter the liberal agenda of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, and Nancy Pelosi. Well, didn't the president before do that? The one that you did not support, the one that you dropped? That's what happened to her. I wouldn't give this witch anything. Guess what? Established Republicans will. She is not on our side. So if you please rush an immediate donation Stand for America to help me in this important mission. This is it. That's exactly what I started this endeavor. Today, we need to be focused on 2022. Don't even worry about what happened before. Don't stand by the fact that I didn't stand by our president. Don't even go there. Give me money. Give me money. Give me money. That's what she wants. And there's a lot of dumbasses that'll do it. This is why I hope I can count on you to join me and Stand for America PAC with generous donation. $45, $75, $100 right now. And some of you people will actually send her money. I wouldn't send that witch anything but a bad letter. That's what we're up against, folks. But she's a Republican. No. She's a hypocrite. She's a hypocrite. In fact, that's what we need to do. On the website, I think I'm going to start a page. Hypocrite Republicans. And go ahead and let them look at it. And let them go after us. And they will. They'll go after it. They'll try to shut us down. They'll go, wait a minute. We don't want that. I'm going to tell you right now, the Missouri GOP knows what I'm doing. And they don't like it. They don't like it at all. Hey, we're Republicans. You aren't. That's how we look at it. We are the Republicans. I am not going to, I started Real Republicans for more than one reason. And like I said, if Trump decides to start another party, I'm in. You know what? I trust Tulsi Gabbard a lot more than I do Nikki Haley. I understand why you say that. I'm not saying I trust her, but I trust her more. If there's a trust level, I trust her more. Probably one of the better Democrats out there, but still. Here's my point. I worry about people on our own side of the aisle, the ones that call themselves Republicans. That's what I look at. The ones that call themselves Republicans. Those are the ones that we are aiming to make sure they never hit. Every one of those people should never see office again, ever. Ever. I'm looking on here for one of the daily. Am I getting it anymore? Maybe not. By the way, I don't know if you saw the new logo, but go to realrepublicans.net and you'll see the new logo. I actually like it. Lynn did a great job. You know what? When it comes to art, I am terrible at it. I'm terrible at it. It's like our website. We're waiting for somebody to stand up and say, I'll do the website. Hopefully you can do a lot better than me because it's not my thing. You have to be somewhat of an artist to do it, and it's not my thing. and right now I'm doing what I can. But we need people. We need people to do all kinds of stuff on Real Republicans, not just run for office. You need people that do all the regular duties that they don't want to run for office. Running for office is special, and we need to stand up and applaud every single person that does that. Well, you're right. We must fix 2020 issues now. See, Doug, the problem with the Republican Party and voters in general is they're forgetful. They're very forgetful. And they say, well, we really need to just go forward, and that's it. But I go forward. It's like anybody that's made their mistakes before today. Fine, admit them, go forward, and say, you know what? I'm not doing those again. I'm joining a successful organization, one that's fighting for the same issues I am. But if you're dumb enough, and this, I'm sorry, and I got good friends that are doing this, you've already seen what the establishment does. You see what the Missouri GOP does. If you are really going to work within that, like I did for 4 years, and I've been hanging around them for years, if you really think you're going to change anything, you're not. You are not going to change it. We can change it as a group, but we have to put the pressure on that group, and that group has got the money. But we have a lot of defeatists that we have to turn around. That's my biggest beef with this whole thing. We have a lot of people say, no, I'll help, and they don't do anything. And it's hard. It's hard for me. It really is. I want to give kudos to Josh Hawley, by the way. Josh Hawley has been getting trashed beyond belief by the media, by the left, and even some in our own Republican Party. That's why I'm talking about hypocritical Republicans. The man has stood up, something that we don't see very often in the Republican Party. He and Ted Cruz, and they're standing up. There's people standing up. There's Rand Paul standing up. They're playing different roles, but they're standing up. But look at the ones that are saying, let's just go forward. Let's just act like Trump never was there. That's what they try to do. They really try to do that. Interesting. What's that? I want people. I want us to win these school board positions, and there's a lot of people out there now saying that's not really that important. It is very important. It's very important. Well, I'm going to close that out because for some reason I'm having issues, but I'll find them later. We need to find out who gets money from Dominion, ESS, and Big Pharma. Well, we know one thing: the Democrat Party does, because one of the reasons why, and this is why the media sucks. One of the reasons why, because Trump, the Big Pharma did not like, and there's two clues. Number one, Big Pharma did not like the fact that Trump said we have to have a limit on what insulin prices are. And the other one is, did you notice that Big Pharma came out with the vaccine after the election? Interesting how that works. Big Pharma came out with it, and all of a sudden, you get the left who did nothing, who have no plan, hasn't had a plan from day one. They now say it. They're not taking a task. You have them who has no plan. They're taking credit for what Trump has done. Yes, we're getting out, and what do they say? We're getting out quicker than ever. And then you find out that the very Democrats who caused the most deaths, like Cuomo in New York and the rest of them, are the ones who are holding back, who are doing things that is like what? The very idiots like AOC. She's young. She doesn't need this. But she was one of the first in line. Rand Paul said, I don't want it. I've already had it anyway. I don't want it. The very people you see are the biggest hypocrites. Remember, the very people you saw that were shutting down businesses, shutting down so much, destroyed businesses, were the ones out there telling you that you had to put a mask on no matter where you go. And then they go out and the laws don't apply to them. You see it all the time, and what happens? The left makes excuses for them. They massacred our president by the fact that they said, "You're not wearing a mask. You're a super spreader." But when they had a riot, it didn't matter what the hell they did. They never even talked about it. And there were plenty of people without masks. It didn't make a difference anyway. People bought the mask. And right now, what do we have? We got people that still comply beyond belief. Folks, I'm sorry. Stop complying. Be confrontational. Have some guts. Grow a couple. I'm watching women so often go after them. Women who stand up and do this. Lately, I haven't seen as many women. What's going on here? I wonder. Nikki, you're here. Wendy, you're here. Linda, I know you're here. And some of the others. But some of the others, I wonder what's going on. I really wonder. Anyway, my friends, I'm ending the show. I have a busy day today, and I have to hit the road. But I'll be back on Monday. Sometimes I'm back before, but I'll be back on Monday. Sorry if there were issues today. I don't know why it's so bad, but we'll figure it out.